needs to be discussed and debated on marae across the land. However, His Majesty acknowledges that last September the Maori voter spoke loud and clear. For 2018, the real world of Maori representation at the governing table is with Labour, and the trust that Maori have placed with Labour must be honoured and respected. And therefore, King Tuheitia wishes to be known that it is incumbent on him, and he believes incumbent on all leaders of Te Ao Māori, to work with Prime Minister Ardern, her ministers and the Maori members of Parliament to achieve outcomes that benefit not only Maori, but the whole of Aotearoa. Because if we do not work together, then our country as a whole, Maori and Pākehā, will not achieve the positive outcomes that we all aspire to, and that you, the people, deserve. And so on this special day in which we celebrate the founding of the Hāhiringatu, King Tuheitia's thoughts go back to the encouragement offered to Te Kooti by his great-great-great-grandfather, King Tuheitia. Words that inspired Te Kooti to acknowledge that the axe and the mere were not the pathway to go forward, and that the only pathway forward to a prosperous future was a path of peace, a pathway of cooperation for the common good. His Majesty is determined that the Kingitanga will maintain an open and transparent dialogue with the Labour Party, especially on the future aspirations of Maori, economically as well as politically. He is determined to ensure that historical and positive working relationship between the Kingitanga and the Labour Party continues. Prime Minister Ardern has his unconditional support and the support of the Kingitanga to achieve her objective of a fairer, better and kinder New Zealand. He believes that too often Maori have gotten trapped into focusing on history and looking back into the past rather than looking to the future. His Majesty is focused on providing support and encouragement for Maori to go forward into the future with confidence. And it is for this reason that the Maori electorate members of Parliament have his unconditional support, because to not offer that support would be to turn his back on the Maori voter. Ever since his ascension to the Te Whetowhetau throne 11 years ago, His Majesty has been of the view that his role is to act as a catalyst for leading Maori into the exciting opportunities of the future and away from dwelling on the wrongs of the past. It has been a long, slow and often torturous process, but today the Maori world, the Maori people, the Maori economic machine is ready to take its rightful place in the world. As Maori, successful in our own right, and not subsumed within the dominant majority culture without our own identity. Maori have a large multi-billion-dollar asset base, which we have learned slowly but surely to successfully manage ourselves. We have brilliant young people in all fields coming through to world-acclaimed achievements in sports, in business, surgeons, research scientists, High Court justices, graduates of internationally acclaimed universities such as Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Oxford, Cambridge. We Maori can match it with any and every society, with every community, with every race on planet Earth. And of course, in recognizing the achievements of Maori, we should not forget the man of the moment, Thor Waititi, a son of the Hāhiringatu, a son of the whānau a Ragnarok. And I look forward to Taika being asked to direct the next James Bond film. Having watched Thor, I can just see Taika in a cameo role talk to James Bond. Hey, 007, hey bro, tell me, what you want doing with my sister, huh? Up to no good, I bet. Anyway, we'll wait and see. A topic of great emotion during the election, immigration. While His Majesty does not presume to provide immigration advice to the government, he has nonetheless already approached the government to discuss how Maori might benefit and participate from the immigration process. Some 50,000 are working in the orchards throughout Aotearoa, including more than 30,000 foreigners. Many of these workers are exploited and cheated by the contractors they work for, who tend to come from their own countries. His Majesty and I believe this is an opportunity for Maori to create a nationwide Maori umbrella, working with local iwi to establish a transparent contracting force for the horticulture sector, a workforce that would comprise Maori and Pākehā New Zealanders as well as foreigners. Also, New Zealand law requires that foreign workers are provided accommodation. Many of the workers are housed in third world hovels. Therefore, His Majesty believes this is an opportunity for a nationwide Māori umbrella operation to build transportable, quality accommodation that can be easily relocated to other sites. Since 1999, when the business, investor and entrepreneur policies were first introduced, there has been several $1 billion of investment into New Zealand from overseas by investor migrants. Very little of those funds have ever made their way to Māori-owned enterprises. Some of you may recall when I tried in '99, I got fired for my efforts. Never mind. I was happy to give up my limousine to admit it. King Tuheitia has signalled to the government that he would like to discuss policies that would make it easier for Māori enterprises to attract those funds. I mean, if the government can do special deals for Sky Hotel Casino to get foreign funds, I can't see why they can't sit down with us Māori to invest in our own lands here. And I was encouraged by the words of the Naya. It seems we're on the same wavelength. King Tuheitia, myself, many of you here today are children of an era when schools were solely Pākehā focused. There was no recognition of Māori culture, no te reo Māori, no kapahaka, no recognition of Māori achievement. Māori children were routinely consigned to low academic stream simply because they were Māori. This century has seen a renaissance in the growth of Māori pride and a huge growth in te reo Māori. Who would have thought in 2018 that Auckland Grammar would have te reo Māori as a compulsory subject for all their students, Māori and Pākehā and international students alike? And to further the recognition of te reo Māori, His Majesty has indicated to the government that he believes the immigration policies of New Zealand must be amended to recognise te reo Māori. If a foreigner can get in here because he speaks English, he sure as hell should be allowed to get in here if he can speak te reo Māori. We are supposed to be an official equal language, but at the moment we're not. And so King Tuheitia has indicated to the Prime Minister, Māori must be accorded equal status and equal recognition as English in our immigration policies. And to the members of Parliament that are here today, Nanaya will remember perhaps this 20 years ago. Oh, Tamati and Kiritapu, you're too young, but never mind. It is time for Parliament itself to accord te reo Māori the rightful status and equal recognition as te reo English. Parliament should and must have equal recognition as English, and therefore we must have English to Māori and Māori to English simultaneous translations. They do it in other countries, why not here? The current situation of a 10-minute speech in Māori being reduced to a 30-second summary at the end of the speech is denigrating to the speaker, is denigrating to other members of Parliament who have the right to know exactly what the Māori speaker said. It is denigrating to te reo Māori, and is denigrating to us, the Māori people. It is a situation that forces those who are fluent in te reo Māori to abandon te reo Māori and only speak in English when they wish to be fully understood. It is a situation that continues the rendering of us as second-class citizens. His Majesty is hopeful that the Māori elected MPs will consider taking on these issues and ensuring that te reo Māori is truly an official language and not just a pretend token official language. You know, like Donald Trump says, a fake language. And I was very heartened sitting here listening to Naya, kia ora Naya. The genesis of the establishment of the kingitanga came from the words of advice from Her Majesty Queen Victoria to Tamihana Te Raupara in 1851. Queen Victoria's message to Tamihana was that as a queen, as a monarch, she can only talk to a king. She told Tamihana and the other chiefs who went with him to London to return to Aotearoa and choose a king, and then she will have someone she can meet with and talk to as an equal. On his return to New Zealand, Tamihana began his mission to establish and find a Maori king. In 1854, at a hui held at Manawapau in Taranaki, more than 2,000 chiefs from throughout Aotearoa came and agreed to a concept of a Maori king. After initially refusing in 1857, Potatau Te Wherowhero was elected by the chiefs of Aotearoa as the first Maori king, and he was duly crowned in June 1858 at ceremonies held in Ngāru Wahia. And so in May later this year, the 160th celebrations of the founding of the kingitanga and the election of the first Maori king, Potatau Te Wherowhero, will begin. The ceremonies and celebrations are being organised by Te Whirinaki a Te Kingi Patamoana, His Majesty's oldest son. His Majesty looks forward to seeing you all at those celebrations, coming to celebrate the birth of the kingitanga. Nō reira te iwi, ngā mōre hua ta hāhi ringa tū. He mihi, he mihi nui ki a koutou i tēnei rā. Kia ora mai.